to BizChicks TV. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Here are your hosts.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. I'm Teralina, and I'm here with my co-host, Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. We are in the house, and we are talking about the coming year. Oh my gosh. We had a great conversation the other day, and I know we're going to continue it, Coach. I just want everybody to know who you are. Coach Caren has run a number of businesses. She's run a child care business. She owned a cleaning agency. She is a designer, a fashion designer. She has resold, marketed, and sourced clothing. Um, this woman has such a deep well of experience, information that she is sharing with us. Guys, make sure you got your pencil and pen because you really want to take advantage of this. Some of the things that we talk about are so common sense that we recognize that common sense isn't always common because we know these things, but are we doing them? And sometimes we just need to be reminded.
Yes.
Coach, I just want you to know we appreciate
Thank you.
who you are, what you've done. We celebrate that. And we celebrate the fact that you have taken time out of your busy day to come in and talk to us here at Biz Chicks. What do you have for us today?
Today we're picking up from last week where we talk about envisioning where you are. Today we're going to look at what to expect in your quarterly. So we're going to talk a little bit about the first quarter, and we're going to talk about what to expect quarterly. Because when you divide, once you set that year, that groundwork and everything, now your job is to go and divide it in 4, right? Get it in there quarterly, because that's going to help you with the monthly, that's going to help you with the weekly and your daily goals. You can reach your goals in a year. You can do it in 30 days, but you're going to be running track. But if you want to do your marathon where it takes a longer time and you're not feeling overwhelmed, flabbergasted, and can't keep up, but you give yourself that year, you're doing yourself such a great service by giving yourself the full 4 quarters. So if this year was good, next year is going to be better. And if this year was a mess and you're thinking, how could I get up and move from the mess? You've got a full year to plan it out and actually do what you're going to do. I answer a question on YouTube, and the lady and her assistant got back to me asking about it. And I said, she asked this question and I was taking a while to answer. And she said, what come first, the mindset work or movement? And I said movement, because when you're moving, your mind starts going. This is why walking is such a good thing. That's why when your coach gives you some instructions to go and move, because more things happen. You know, when you start your business, don't only sit down and talk about it. Move, do one thing. Get up and do the one thing. Get it kick started. And doing the one thing is you planning for next year, is you getting everything ready. And because we did that last week, and I hope you're tending to it. And if you need help, again, reach out to myself or the BizChicks. Okay. And you get yourself moving and grooving. Now you want to know what's the first thing you're going to do. And we always have to remember, sometimes somebody had a business and that business didn't go as great. And they're starting over and they're feeling like, I'm not sure I could do this again because it didn't go well the first time. But the question to ask, was I passionate about it? It's something I really wanted to do, or I did it solely for the money. I am going to tell you something. Most people say do it for your passion, but if you're doing it for money, make the statement, I am doing this business strictly for money. Don't be ashamed of it, because that shame is going to spiral you down into nothingness. You need to understand why you're doing it. It doesn't mean that you love the business, and that's fine, but you have to admit it to you.
And you have to admit that money is needed. I mean, you're either going to be working a job, working a business, running a business, having some kind of income. Income is necessary.
It's necessary. So you're doing it for that. That's the first thing. And then the second is if you love it, whatever that is for you. But you need to know. So you did that planning. So the first, and if you're starting over, so let's talk about the people who are starting over, right? So the first quarter, you're doing it. What are some of your expectations for yourself in the first quarter? And you need to make column, you need to make room. I talk about emotions. You need to make room for what your expectations are. If you expect to make, 100,000, but you don't have a proven idea, you haven't been able to make money from it before, don't set yourself up for failure. Set yourself up for the smaller kind, working towards the $100,000. Okay, let's do that so we don't sink halfway and say, well, this doesn't work. Set yourself up with real, and I'm a very unrealistic person, but I get real in those things. Okay, set yourself up so you can have your unrealistic thing, unreasonable ideas, but then you still have to have in there the concretes that I'm doing. So if you're starting over and you don't have insurance yet, and you don't have all the things that that you need to start your business, I want you to write that down and have that as the core that's going to be done in the first quarter.
Okay, let me ask you this. Does this statement make sense here? What are your financial expectations
per quarter? Yep.
Per quarter, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, it's the three things
on the screen. Okay.
Yeah, you have to have your financial expectation, but also your working expectations. That is important as well. You need to have your working expectation for yourself. I tell you, you're going to be so disappointed with you if you've given yourself a 20-hour day and you know fully well you cannot manage a 20-hour, a 14, 16, whatever it is. I don't want you to do that to yourself. I want you to give yourself the maximum. I tell people is a 12-hour day. And here's why the maximum is 12 hours. For 12 hours, you can go and work at a job. The job I had was 12-hour shifts, but I only work it 4 days a week because it's 12 hours I'm working per day. You understand? Yes. And so the first quarter, if you need to give yourself 12 hours, promise me, I will have a little program on it that when you give yourself 12 hours to the first quarter, the second quarter, you would give yourself 10 hours. And then the third quarter, 8 hours. And then the fourth quarter, 6 hours. Why am I wanting you to do this? If you have no experience in this, this is the idea of moving down. So that the following year, last week I talked about being able to plan for the 5-year by doing the first year. So the following year, if you desire, you can work 4 hours a day. And you could eventually, if you build out your company right, work 2 hours. This is a possibility that when I tell people, they're like, there's no way I can do that. Of course you can. You just haven't done it yet. So you just think you can't do it. But if you give yourself a full year. Now, having said that, within that first year, you might be able to get to the 4 hours, depending on the type of business, product, or service you're offering. This is not impossible. But the reason I want you to give yourself the full year is that the bonus is being able to do it before the year is done. The good news, you got a whole year to do it. And now you're not feeling this hurried upness that makes you sink and can't swim upstream. Because that's why a lot of businesses, not because it's not a good idea or nobody's buying, it's because they're not understanding. I follow a girl on YouTube who do a lot of quilting on making all kinds of different things. Some things that I have in my shop. And one of the beauty of what she did, I told her that, she goes, that's what I had to realize. Once she sit at the machine and she says, for this week, I'm going to make this amount of product all day Monday. And if it take me until Wednesday, I am finishing this project. So when she go to do a boot setup or anything, her boot look full and nice because she spent the time doing it. She understood that in a month's time to do the work she needs to dedicate special time for cutting, sewing, doing all the good things that she do and film herself doing it, right? She knew she needed that. And then so when she get there, she can price it right. She's not robbing herself. Because guys, let me tell you this, when you rob yourself from your product or your services, you're not going to perform well. And your business is going to flatline very, very fast. Okay? Period. Don't get into that habit. Please don't do it. People will buy what they want to buy. Your item is valuable. Please stop it. No problem. They will pay what they want for it. And they'll buy it. I'm going to say it again. They'll buy it. So priced right. Understand. And when you start, it's going to take you longer than when you get used to it. But you got to.
Why do we discount our prices? when we first start a business. I hear
I
people say,
think I covered that a couple weeks ago, but I'll say it again.
yeah,
We don't believe it's valuable. You ever notice, Terry, when if somebody see like the earring, and you might say, let's say this earring was $35, and then somebody said to you, well, I won't pay 35 for that. And then somebody else said to you, 35? You don't know if it's a 35. I don't think it's expensive, or a 35, it's too expensive, but you assuming it's too expensive. And if you had bought it, you said to yourself, I can't believe I paid 35. Look at people don't want to pay 35. But there's this other side of people on the other side that paying 35 comfortably with no problem. This is not a people thing. This is a you thing. This is why I talked about this, I don't know how long ago, but I got to repeat it. We go through stages where we're afraid to collect money. I don't care who you are. Afraid to collect money. Accept money, be with money, learn big numbers, and be neutral about it. It's neither here nor there. If I said $1 million, you're not fringing. You're just, it's $1 million. And it's $1 million. That's it. But when you're not used to money, because poorness is not about money, it's the state of mind and what it signifies with how you were brought up, the people you are around, the places you visited, the conversations you have with other people. You know, if you got a friend who's always looking for a bargain, even if that wasn't you, over time, you will start looking for a bargain. And you will never be able to witness quality. And if you start a business, even if your product is quality, you can't explain that to anybody, because a part of your brain that love a bargain will not let you. It will terrorize you. And so you will charge. You will call for a less price, and you won't be able to stay in business for very long. And you'll find all the reasons why, and all the cheap spots that sell the same thing that you think is the same thing. It's never the same thing. It's never the same thing. I used to do hand embroidery for my principal in high school years ago. And I remember when she was selling a pillowcase at the time, oh my God, in the 70s, whatever, a pillowcase probably would sell for hand embroidery at a time. Let's say, I'm just going to make up a number. Let's say $25, right? A pair of pillowcase. Let's just say that. And her pillowcases were, Terry, 75 and above.
Okay.
The store that carry her pillowcases, if you didn't get there the week it landed on the shelves, it was gone. People buy them out and left the cheaper pillowcases.
There you go.
That was intention. That was the way it was marketed. That's the belief she had in it. She understood that it had to be sold for it to make sense, to produce the product. And we got to get used to that. And it's hard for us when we haven't. So that's why conversations like these are so important. That's why attending a class just about money, not even to make money, is a good class to have, where you talk about your feelings and how it make you feel, and what you're going to do about it, and how you're going to take this and put it into practice on a daily. I had a client of mine last year put this, I'm talking about, into practice. I have her banking. We haven't hit a year yet. We're going to hit a year sometime next month, next year. Every day she banks. Every single day she banks. And it started off so small because I wanted to get used to money, because we had to pay off some debt and a whole bunch of things we had to do. And so then once that was off, she was so worried about not having that. I said, you're going to bank every day, and you're going to start with 50 cents. This is how I started her out. 50 cents a day she's going to bank every day for the first 2 months. And then the next 2 months, she's going to bank $1 a day. And then she's going to bank $2 every 2 months. So we're increasing every 2 months. And this sounds like simple. It's not about the money. This is the practice that I am having her do. So at the end of the year, she's going to be a banker that saves money every single day. And then we're going to look into, we paused for a bit because some things are happening, but we're going to look into investments by next year, how it makes her feel, what happens. She's going to be going through this whole processes. She did the death thing. She was afraid. She panicked. We took 2 weeks in the maneuvering. It ended up being 6 weeks to get everything concluded. But once it was done, it was done. And she says, I wasn't sleeping well. I didn't notice I wasn't sleeping well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just a tiny debt left. Once that's closed, that's going to be closed by the end of next month. Not even. Like that debt is going to be finished when be gone, right? So we're working on things. So she's learning about this kind of saving. She's learning about getting money, not just squandering it. She's learning how to be thoughtful, to buy quality instead of quantity. She's just learning so many different things about money because of how she was as a person handling money.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want to start a business. This is a woman who just go to work, but she had problems with money. So that's what we're focusing on, how to get out of that. And if you don't understand about money, it's hard for you to charge money. You might charge here and there, but you won't be able to consistently charge the money.
Gotcha.
Okay, moving on. So number 2. I know it was a mouthful, but
no, so many of us start and that we don't charge correctly because we want everybody to be able to afford our product, but everybody is not your customer.
It's better off to make 12 of something and sell it for the right price than make 100 and sell it for cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting to that after, but you need to understand that a little bit and charge the right amount, then a lot and charge for cheap, especially if you don't understand money. When you see somebody selling something cheap, they understand what they're doing. That's a different kind of setup. I could talk about that another time, but that's a different mentality. It is not what you think it is. It is not what you think it is. And I'm going to get an example here. People will sell something to cheap to get a quick capital for the main thing that they're doing. So you're thinking, well, they can sell it cheap. They got a goal. There's an aim. There's a reason to get to this other place that they're looking forward to. It's not to stay there. People do that as well. So number 2 is, if it doesn't happen, how will you handle it? Like, what is your contingency plan when you set out your expectation for the quarter? What is your contingency plan? You need to understand what that is. What mornings does to you? What time of the day is best for you to work? How is rest going? How are you going to do it better? And you need to that's why you need Notions or something, Excel, I don't care what you use, so that you can track you. You can track what's happening. When you're tracking, you're able to improve. The second quarter will be better. You have to have room in there. You have to have crying room if you're a crier. If you're emotionally upset quickly, you got to give yourself the space to come back down from it. But once your heart and your soul and your bodies get used to the rhythm of you again, and you're not fighting against it, you're able to do better more than not do better. When things are going sideways, when things are not lining up, when it's not where you want it to be. That happens to each and every one of us. How fast you recoup. I'm a 24, 72-hour recouper. Write it down. When you become a 48 or 24 hours recouper, write it down. The things that takes a week to recoup from, write it down. So if you're in the fire zone and it's a 7-day fire zone, this that's happening right now to me, my business, we're in a 7-day fire zone. Write it down. You might recover in 5 days, but at least you got 7 days for recovery. Each day recovery, make sure you're paying attention to it. So that you know when you're in a 7-day fire zone versus a 3-day, totally different.
I'm like, okay.
And sometimes we don't want to behave that we need all that time. We're like, no, I could do it in 2 days. No, you might not be in a 2-day. You might be in a 7-day. Take the 7 days. That's why we want to leave that little pocket there to do that, right? Like when I cruise, me and my friends, we always go there 2 in advance. Like we're not trying to go the day of and miss the flight or something happened. We went to a hotel and we just enjoy. Walk around, do nothingness. We're still on holiday. So when I come back from vacation, I always take a couple of days extra just to settle in, do my laundry, watch a bunch of movies for no good reason, whatever. I need some time. Even when I had a job, I always do it that way. I take vacation, come back, get some time. Just a thing for me. Are you too?
I always take a couple of days to recoup for my vacation.
Yes,
Sometimes you can run so hard on the vacation, it feels like work.
girl.
When I was younger, that's the way it felt. But now I've learned how to actually relax on a
Yeah,
vacation. But still, I need that recuperation time.
I like it. I like it. And last but not least, are you prepared to attach it to the second quarter, or do you want to drop it? There is things that don't need to go to the second quarter, but there's things that you will carry over. But you will learn that maybe the first quarter had too many things on it. So don't do that in the second quarter. Okay? Don't pack it. This is not a pack and play. You are not jump packing things into there. You are running the business because you are the CEO of your life and you've decided to own a business. And these are the steps you're taking to own the business. Don't let social media have you galloping. Don't do it.
I love it.
Set your pace. Set your pace. Yeah. And do it. Do it how you know how to do it. And then go pay, go learn, go figure out, and get everything how you know your business. Your business is unique. Even if you're selling the same thing, your business is unique. If you're selling the same thing, I cook, I braid, I sew, I design, I still do it differently. My price is going to be my prices. I'm not even arguing. And don't be afraid to call your price. A lot of times we wouldn't price something because we're afraid for the price,
We really are.
Somebody came to me recently and I gave them a price and the lady said to me, no, I'm going to pay. I can't remember what she told me she's going to pay. And I said to her, just like this, this is not negotiable. We are not negotiating anything here. Just like this. I'm like, this is the price. And listen, if it's not in your budget, I get it. No problem. But this is the price. She paid. She paid very happily.
I just totally agree with you. And I think sometimes you need other people to tell you what you should be pricing your things at, because it may come to you so easily that you think it's not valuable to others. And that is not true.
Not true at all. I had this chef that was pricing her product at the time a couple of years ago. But the product, whatever the product was, she was selling it $12 a piece. Once I went in and we dissect the ingredients, her timeline, and what have you, she said, how am I going to be able to price it? How would you know how much one would cost? And I made her went to the groceries, get all the ingredients, measure it out. She had a whole bunch of homework to do. She came back to me. And I said to her, it has to be sold for $17 a piece. If you're selling it for $12, you need to close shop and don't do it again. You are losing money. She said, what? I said, you're losing money. You're not making money. It doesn't matter how much money you pick up every week. You're not making money. This is why you're always catching up. This is why you're always adding money from your job salary to this business. I said, it has to be sold for $17. And the smaller one, whatever it was at the time, I said, it has to be sold for $17. And I went away. I took the menu. I checked up everything. And she did not like that she had to charge for a pinch of salt, whatever the salt was. I said, you got to put that in there. It's taken. It had about 5 to 7 ingredients. Like, how could you choose which one you're not charging for? This is the crazy thing. You got to make flyers at the time she was making. You had people hand them out. You pay. Like, none of this thing was in the the evaluation. And she didn't have labor in there at all. I said, no. We're doing it. I don't care if admin is 50 cents and labor is $2. It's in there for the batch that you're making, And so I had to put her on a timer and what have you. And she said, Caren, I lost a few clients. I was really mad with you. I said, okay. The next year, those clients returned. They didn't buy the quantity, but they did still buy. And then she get new clients who didn't know about that price and paid the price. And and as things raised, I said to her, you can't be afraid. You send out the information. This is her busy time. I say, you let them know there'll be a raise because things have risen. And this is new price point. You also don't have to sell it by the dozen. They can buy a half a dozen. You won't sell quarter, but they can buy a half a dozen. And a lot of people came back on board. They said, oh, we can buy a half a dozen. And so they'll join with their sisters or join with their mom and buy a dozen, and they'll share it. And then she got clients again. I said, you have to charge so that the business can be profitable. If not, you can't make it.
And so the cookies taste good. I mean, you ever start buying a brand and then a couple of months later it tastes different?
They weren't profitable and they figured it out, and now they're holding back.
Instead of just raising the price and giving me what I wanted.
Because they have done the marketing or whatever they did or didn't do, and they decided they wouldn't be able to sell as much. One of the things I do when I was doing food, I would do specialties on Sundays only. And so that's premium price on Sunday. And then I will see how many people wanted that. And I when I started out, I had about 6 people that came on board right away, and 2 drop off, 3 left. And I sat with myself and asked if I still want to do it. And the 3 that left bought a lot. So I said, I will keep it on the program. So the people who drop off, when they come back on, the price didn't change. If anything, it went up. And they either is it in it or not. And so Saturday and Sunday, there were specialty things that you had to actually place your order between Thursday and Friday. If not, when you come on Saturday and Sunday, it wasn't available. And that in itself made people pre-order and ready to go and just come and pick up. And I didn't have. That's another way of being able to charge you premium prices, knowing that it's only 2 days a week this is available. And people ask me, Caren, why can't we get it Monday to Friday? I said, it's just not available. I'm Monday to Friday goods is Monday to Friday goods. This is a specialty. It takes time. It's more expensive. I know if you want it, you're going to pay in advance. They keep saying, I'll pay in advance during the week. But I know once people get used to it, they wouldn't. So you got to decide on certain things, especially when it comes to food, because somebody else might show that they could make the same thing and it'll be cheaper. And one of the girls told me that. She said, I went somewhere. I was so mad because I wasted the money. I pitched it out. I can see why you charge the price. When somebody complain about somebody cooking online or somebody, brownies or whatever, I'm like, or cinnamon bun or whatever the people are selling, I'm like, the people who are doing it right and understand quality, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for quality and time. It takes time to be well made. And it's not a factory. It's somebody is doing the cottage style stuff, and that's what you're paying for. If you don't want that, you go to the stores. My mom loved a seeded bread with all kind of thing in it. And she was telling me, she said, Caren, you know what I noticed? The bread is the same price, but I'm getting 3 to 4 slices less now.
Exactly. The packaging starts reducing. You know what I mean? Or it's the same bag, but it's not quite as full.
Yes.
Because they don't want to change the quality of the product.
Yeah. And that's what small business need to understand. Like, we need to have these things planned out. Sales, for instance, when somewhere have a sale, don't jump up and down. That's built in for the year when the sales are going to be, and why it's good for the business to have the sale. And as a small business, you can do the same thing. When it's a good time to have a sale, when it's a good time to offer up to your clients something special, because it's okay, because you've built it in. So if it's food and you want to have a sale, when summer is starting or before the season get busy, to bring in that first flow, maybe to build up the capital to buy extra wholesale, you can have a sale, right? So now you're ready for the Christmas rush. If business is a little slow between January and February, in my food days, I didn't have sales, but what I would do is have smaller portions of things to be sold. And so it's down in size and the numbers sound great to the client, but I know that my business is still staying at the same profit margin. I never dip in January and February, March ever in my food days. I stayed, if anything, sometimes I'll be like a little above, because I knew what made more sense for people, because January, they came to say broke month, but it's not true. You just have to know how to maneuver the business to still sell in January. Actually, there's people waiting to buy in January. So
yes, there are.
So you need to get all of that in your plan. What do you expect for the first quarter? And how, if it doesn't happen, how you're going to handle it. Prepare yourself on how you're going to handle it. Talk to your heart. slow it down, explain to your heart that you're afraid and you're in panic mood, but everything is going to be okay. Okay, talk
Wow.
to it.
Okay, guys, you heard Coach Caren. She said you're gonna have to get it together quarter by quarter.
Yes,
Okay. And start now to figure out what you're going
yes.
to do quarterly. Set your
Hmm.
expectations. I heard you say don't be afraid to drop stuff off if it's not working. In
Yes,
the second
yes,
quarter, get rid of it.
yes. Yeah,
Get rid of
yeah.
it. So be prepared to make some adjustments. I
Hmm.
want you guys to know that Coach Caren has a brand new YouTube channel, and we want to go there. I want to share that with you. Let me share my screen to Coach Caren. Oh, make sure I get on the right one. If you are Coach Caren.
There we go.
Oh my goodness, Coach. I'm telling you, you have so many gifts and talents. Um,
Thank you.
and we know that you are an experienced seamstress, designer. You can see some of the things that she does right across the banner, but also you want to visit her community. We have subscribed here at Biz Chicks. We want to encourage you to subscribe. It's a brand new channel. You see, there's only a few
Yeah, the videos are up right now.
videos
But
up
we're
there,
gonna get better.
but we are, we're growing.
Yes, we're
And guys,
growing. We're
you
growing.
want to be on the ground floor of this channel.
Yes, yes,
Coach,
yes.
I just can't even imagine what's coming in the future. But what we got going on right now is really good. So don't be stuck or scattered. Okay? Look at that. Come on, Coach. You do a great
Yes.
job at the things that you do. And so we want to encourage everybody to go over there and subscribe to your YouTube channel. We want to remind everybody that it's okay to make money in your business. Come on,
Yes.
people. So go to the front of your own line. If you're looking to become a part of Biz Chicks, simply text Biz to 33777, or you can go to our website, bizchicks.net. We got a brand
Yes.
new website over there. We'd love for you to join our community because we'd love to share with our community what it is you do and how you serve. So, with that, we want to remind you hey, we're here Monday through Friday. Come on over and join the Biz Chicks. We'd love to have you be a part of our community. Coach, we want to thank you for all that you do.
You're welcome.
We want to remind everybody that this is Coach Caren helping you bring those profits in daily. Okay, guys. All right, everybody. We'll see you soon. Have a great
Bye-bye.
day. Bye bye.
Thank you for tuning in today. We trust you've learned something to help you build a more profitable business and take the hassle out of your hustle. See you next time.